What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Excuse my voice. I'm going through it. I'm still tired. I worked over the weekend trying to get these videos out as well. And just business has been booming, right? So in today's video or this week's videos, I want to kind of go over for some quick reviews that you can kind of just get a grasp on some new things by Milwaukee and some of the things that I think are pretty cool. And if you guys can go find a deal, I'll kind of let you know what they go for right now. And in today's video, we're specifically going to go over the new M12 Rover light. I really loved the previous version, and I thought I was gonna really enjoy the next iteration of it because they did improve I think the lighting for one, and then also the angles and pivot points that you can get. It is super versatile, but when I saw it in person, I was like, man, it is a lot bigger. So I'm going to show you real quick that new M12 Rover light, and then I'm going to show you compared to what I had before, maybe a couple other options as far as like these Milwaukee lights. There's plenty to choose from because I know the last time I did a video on the previous one, everybody had an opinion on some other lights that I don't have. I typically like these M12 ones because I use a lot of M12s for my drills and other tools. I really like having a ton of M18 and M12 batteries on the van. So if I don't have to have one that I have to recharge or remember to plug into a USB-C cable or anything like that, the better. And I would rather not have to carry other batteries. So I try to stick to the M18s or the M12s. Trying to get these videos out and I'm still sick. This box right here is, so I can show you the specs. This is the M12 new Rover light. It has True View, which I really love that light there. It's not it's not too cool or too warm. And this is a 2350-20. So this is our new one. And I forgot to mention, this one is also pack out compatible. So that's going to be another feature there. But, you know, at what cost? Because this is a pretty chunky light here. If you run a 4.0 M12 battery, you get up to 4 hours on the highest setting, which is 1200 lumens. You get 8 hours at 600 lumens on the medium. And you can get, and I try to use it on low all the time, if you stick to low at 300 lumens, you can get up to 16 hours on that charge. And you do get a pack out plate in the box as well. So here is the M12, and you know, like I said, it's a lot bigger. We'll compare it in a minute to the predecessor. This is the older M12 Rover right here, and a lot bigger. So just keep that in mind, or go look at it if it's on display, if you can find it on display. So this Rover floodlight, you would pivot this out. It can come up straight. It can point out. It can swivel. And then it stops at the 180 mark. And then you swivel back this way. And you can go back 180 as well. So it doesn't free spin, but it can go basically all the way back, forward, and in between. It's just free motion. And then you can angle it down and still move it around. So you can get whatever angle you would need, basically. And then you can flip it closed to protect the light, or you can turn it around and then mount it somewhere because it does have a nail hole right here if you want to hook it up, or it has magnets. These are super strong magnets. So if you needed something that could stick to metal a lot better, look at the difference there. So on the old one on this side, very thin magnets, and you can feel it. This thing will snap onto metal, and I gotta yank it off pretty hard. This one was a little bit nicer to put on and off, but I mean, you could knock it down accidentally. So way stronger magnets. I've noticed that right away. It just, you know, it just wants to go. So you do have that nail mount right here. You do have the magnets, much stronger, and you also have a hook here if you want to hang it up somewhere. And if you need to put it away or mount this plate somewhere, because you do have screw holes that you can put this, if you want to mount it up to a wall or something, you have pack out compatibility. So you just screw it in, screw it off, and you get that pack out feature there. So this side you have your power button, and this one doesn't really matter what you use because it stands nicely on this end. So I mean it can stand on its own and can kind of lay it down here. It's very surface friendly. Like the sides are flat. Obviously the back is flat. This side is flat. Whereas on something like this one, right, the older version, I never liked using the smaller M12s on there because you would put it in there and it would just, you know, it has no flat surface. You can put it up magnetically, and I've also laid it down just to shine light in a bigger area. But for the most part, I would always have one of these bigger ones dedicated to that, right? Because you can have basically a foot for it. So this is how I used this M12 over here, and I could just stand it up. And that's how I used it a majority of the time, is just standing it up. Or if I'm in a cabinet somewhere working with the magnet, I can put it up and shine it down. So I prefer these batteries on this one just because I want to stand it up all the time. And I never like using the small ones. On this newer one, it doesn't really matter because there's so many flat surfaces. And if you put the M12 or the larger battery on there, you can kind of see what it looks like. Just makes it even bigger if that was a concern of yours, right? So this new one, I kind of like using the smaller batteries on there. And it gets plenty bright. You have also, so on this one, on the old one, you had your indicator and your power button, so you could get your battery level there, and then you could turn it on, and then you would cycle through your modes. You would just have a high and low and off. This one, I believe, has, oh, I mentioned it already, it has 3 settings. So you have your power and your brightness level is a separate button if you like that. And I do personally like that because you can turn this on and then you go to medium, low, turn it off, turn it back on, and it's still on low, and you can go back to high. So it does have memory there. So you can turn it off and always have it on the last setting that you had, right? So that's where I like the double buttons here, instead of one to just turn it on and cycle through, which gets annoying sometimes. And you also have a USB section over here. So this is a USB-C out to where you can charge other devices. So if you turn your USB-C button here, it'll illuminate that it's on and ready to use. And then you can go in, plug in your device, and now you're charging. Oh yeah, I forgot, this one actually does have the charger right there. So that's a USB-A though. So you're gonna have to use the older style plug right here. And we can plug that in. But anything with USB-A, which is that bigger style, it's just gonna charge and it automatically picks it up a lot slower. So just keep that in mind. So you do get a little bit faster charging. So you do get USB-C 3 amp charging output on this one, which is really good for most devices. I'm gonna keep it on the van. I do like it. I do think it's cool, all that stuff. But this one, I tend to grab more just because it's a little easier to hold, a little easier to grab. It's a little bit thinner versus, you know, trying to wrap your hand around this one. So I'm a little more partial to the older M12 Rover light. You're limited by, you know, that motion right there. That's not much compared to if you would prefer something a little more versatile, to where you can kind of spin it in any direction here, you know, put it back there, stand it up and just point it down. Like, you have way more use cases for this one, but it's just, it comes at a cost. It's a lot bigger. And I have had this one for a while, and I like to have it on the truck because sometimes I do need several lights for an area that I'm working at. walk-in boxes. We cut the power, you know, things like that, to where I would like to have these. My other favorite one from them, this has been my favorite task light, because I've had the DeWalt one, I've had the Klein one. This one works really good, and it's super thin. Like, it's crazy thin. It can go in your tool bag pretty easily. This part opens up and you can hook it up on a pipe or something like that. You have these magnets back here as well. And this one rotates all the way around. So this one has been super nice. And it does have those separate buttons that I was talking about, where you can change the brightness on the fly and just turn it off when you're done. So this one's really cool. This one is rechargeable. You have a USB-C port on this side. So I'll leave a link to this one as well. If I go back for a light, I'm usually going for this one. And this one I'll try and throw in the tool bag when I can, just because it can stand up. It can even stand up on its own and give, you know, light to whatever area you're working at. So really like these two in particular, but that new Rover one, it comes with some cool features. It just comes at a price of size, weight, and then, because I've used it in places and you notice it. So I'm just saying, I'm just going to say that you make your own decision. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to give you some information. So those are the Rover lights and the task light, which these are my favorite lights to use. Again, I typically have a whole bunch of M12s and M18 batteries. As far as lighting, I prefer the M12 lineup. I just think they need to be smaller, more compact. For stuff that I do, because I typically only work, you know, on a job site for a couple of hours, I don't really need an M18 for, like, you know, to run a light for like 8 hours straight. So I do have a rocket light. Those have been fantastic when I do need, like on an install job, a ton of light. These are more for temporary light, working in the cabinet area, just in a dark corner, anything like that. And, you know, they're great. AC work, you work in a closet, in an attic, these do just fine. I'll make sure to link all of them here in the YouTube links, and those will be the first ones that you see. Also, go check out my tool link. I'll have some other stuff, other lights that I use down there as well. And again, I think I already mentioned any of the tech that I use, right? Any of the cool little cords that I have, electronics, camera gear, all that kind of stuff will be in my tool link. If you go and kind of browse through the categories, there's also a reliable tech category if you want like that kind of stuff, like stuff that you wouldn't, that are not necessarily like tools, but like they're, you know, for my iPad, for my phone, for the stuff that I film with, all that kind of stuff. I'm losing my voice again. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching this video through. I'm going to do a few more of these just to kind of keep you up to date on what's coming out. If you guys enjoyed the video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you guys.